Hello and welcome to the Home Care Millionaire Podcast, the show where compassion meets prosperity. I am Paul Tembande alongside my beautiful wife Joan here. We're honored to be your hosts. Together, Joan and I have built a home care agency from a 12,000, little over $12,000 credit card loan. Okay, some people called it a gamble at that time. We've built it into an eight-figure business serving thousands of families over the years. And now we're here to share the lessons, strategies and the mindset shifts that help us get there so that you can too.
We launched this podcast because the home care industry is often misunderstood. Too many people don't see the sacrifices owners and their caregivers make every single day, or the powerful impact agencies have on seniors and their communities. And truthfully, we looked around and realized there were not many podcasts out there shining a light on this industry. So we felt called to create the Home Care Millionaire Podcast.
This podcast is designed for the purpose-driven provider, for those of you who feel called to care, but also want to build a thriving, sustainable business. Each week, we're going to share with you real-life stories, proven strategies, and powerful mindset shifts that will help you move from just surviving to thriving.
Absolutely. Our tagline says it best. Compassion is your calling, wealth is your reward. And here on the Home Care Millionaire Podcast, we're going to show you how to embrace both.
So get ready for inspiration, practical insights, and the encouragement you need to impact lives, build wealth, and create a legacy through your agency. So hit subscribe, folks. Join us on this journey to transform your business, your mindset, and your future. Welcome, folks, to the Home Care Millionaire Podcast.
All right. What a great day it has been. And I cannot wait because we're getting ready to have a special edition of the Living Boldly with Purpose podcast. And I met Joan and Paul not too long ago, in the last 6 months, and we've been working together and we've been doing some amazing stuff. And one of the things after I had interviewed Paul for the Journey to Freedom podcast, he expressed to me that he was excited because he wanted to get a podcast going. And so, you know what I said? I said, you know what? This would be great. Let's put some things together. And today this is going to be kind of a dual podcast because we're going to debut his podcast with me interviewing them about the things that they are making a difference in people's lives. When we talk about living boldly with purpose, I don't know if there's a possibility, and I've said this many times during my podcast, I don't know if there's a possibility for a person to live in purpose without serving others. I don't think it's possible. Some people have come to me and said, yes, it's possible. I can do these things in a vacuum and that kind of stuff. But I would submit to you right now that it is impossible without serving others. And what I know about Joan and Paul is that they have the hugest servant heart that could be out there. And when we were going back and forth and we were talking about this podcast, and they're telling me about all the things that they do in their business. And the one thing that shined for me, or the one thing that came out, was their, relentless dedication to serving others in this area. And we kind of talked about different things that they do, and different things that they're doing out there in the world, and how they'd be able to serve, whether it was a mindset or whether it was, coaching or teaching. And what we kind of put together and thought about is they're really, really good at the home care world. And in this home care world, not only have they been teaching and training people to do what they've done, is they've actually helped people to go out and make money. And so one of the things that is going to be part of their podcast is they're going to show exactly the things that they've done in order to get where they're at. And so excited about it. Sometimes I do these shows and I say, well, tell me your story and tell me all these wonderful things. But today, if you want to go back and hear Paul's, interview, go back and watch it. It's there. It's on the Journey to Freedom podcast. And we talk about where they came from and the things that they've done. Tonight, we're really going to talk about what the home care, sorry about that, my voice, right? The Home Care Millionaire Podcast is going to be, because this is going to be something you're going to want to subscribe to. This is going to be something that you're going to want to get notifications whenever one comes out. This is something that you're going to be saying, even if you yourself maybe not decided, hey, I'm not going to live in this world of home care, but you say, I know somebody who is, or I know somebody who wants to, or I know somebody who's looking for something that will allow them to just thrive. And so the Home Care Millionaire podcast, it will be aired here in the next few weeks. Make sure that you're looking out for it. Today is our debut. And so thank you, Paul, and thank you, Joan, for being on this podcast tonight. I can't wait to hear from you. I can't wait to hear from your stories. I can't wait to ask you some really cool questions that we're on. So maybe you can just introduce yourself a little bit before we get going. Tell us why you even wanted to start a podcast and why a podcast is something that is now a realization and not just something that was a thought in your mind at one time.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you, Dr. B. It's a pleasure. Thank you again for giving us a chance to be on this platform to share our journey, Joan and I, and what we've done, what we're doing, and where we're headed. Okay. When we launched this podcast because we know firsthand what it feels like to step in home care with a big heart, but no clear roadmap. When Joan and I started, we had compassion. We had compassion what we wanted to do, wanted to serve. We always loved serving, but but not the strategies to help us really, make it happen. So, and we've learned a lot of lessons along the way through trial and error. Right? We wanted to create a resource which we had back then when we started, 23 plus years ago, a place where agency owners and aspiring agency owners can hear real life stories. Proven strategies they can learn from proven strategies and faith-filled encouragement to build both impact and income. Because we believe that when you serve, we have a servant's heart. You go out and make a difference in the lives of people. You ought to be rewarded for it. And so that's what we're all about. Wanted to shine a light on millions of hundreds of thousands of home care agency owners out there that are serving, doing this great work of taking care of our seniors in their communities all over the United States and maybe parts of the world too, right? Joan, you wanna weigh in here a little bit?
Yeah, Dr. B. Wow, that was an amazing intro there. But thank you so much for having us on your platform. We are so excited to be speaking with you today and sharing our experience and just putting out what we've been through, what we've gone through to help others succeed. So we are so excited again to be here. Our journey, wow. I really don't know how to put all of that in the time that we have today. But when we get to that, trust me, it's gonna be really fun. It's gonna be amazing.
And Dr. B, I want to just say also that we found out that there was nothing in the podcast space, if you will, that spoke to our industry. Okay, there was nothing out there that spoke to what we do, the good work that home care agency owners and that they do out there. So, I want to be able to spotlight that, give fellow owners a chance to share their experiences, what they do, what they've been through, how they got started. Because we come from different worlds, right? Wear different hats. We come into this world, right? What got them here? Okay, why did they choose this industry, this vocation to come and serve people? Why? What have they done? What challenges did they face when they got started? How did they get started? Who are they serving? How did they overcome the challenges that they encountered along the way? What can they teach us? What difference are they making? What difference are they making in their communities so they can inspire other agency owners and folks that are looking to get in this industry so that they can get out there and make a difference and be successful at it and be profitable at it, I might add.
Oh, there you go. There's the key, being profitable. And Joe, one of the things that you said is you can't say everything that we need to say tonight, which is perfect because that's why we're doing the podcast, right? That's why we're going to be able week after week to be able to show people that are part of this business. Paul, you said we don't see hardly anything out there. And we all need mentors. Well, somebody told me that one time, he said, in order to be successful, you need to find somebody who's doing what you want to do or doing it similar and copy what they're doing and not have to go through some of the things that they went through because they already went through it. So one of the things that's so neat about it, I'm thinking about your journey, is people will be able to glean, people will be able to take some of your successes and duplicate them, and then take some of your failures and then say, oh, I'm not going to do that. I remember on that podcast number 3 where they said, don't do this. Some people are going to do it anyways, right? Because some people just got to fail forward. But there's going to be so many people who are going to go, wait a minute, I remember I'm getting ready to do this. I'm getting ready to make that phone call. And this is what I need to say during that phone call. And that's what's so exciting about this. And maybe talk a little bit about what that journey has been for you. You guys are doing it together, which is probably different than a lot of people have done. And maybe give us some of the highs and some of the lows in this journey. You've been able to build an 8-figure home health care business. And that's why, we'll talk about the name here in a minute. But as a result, you did it with tenacity, with courage, with relentless endeavor. Maybe talk to us just a little bit about that.
So, Dr. B, let me paint the picture here. Take it back several years. So, so Paul and I are high school, and we got separated for over 10 years when I went to England and he came to the US to further our studies. Fast forward, we found ourselves in the corporate world. We had corporate jobs. And at one point, we felt like we had to take the next step, the next leap of faith. We started our home care agency way back in 2002.
That's right.
With 3 kids under 7, husband and wife. So it was interesting, to say the least. We didn't have the money. We're filled with excitement and just the heart to serve. We just felt the calling to serve. Now, I think it's Martin Luther King Jr. who said, take the first step, even if you don't see the entire staircase.
That's right.
That was our story. We didn't have the money to invest in a home care business. So what did we do? We reached out to a good old credit card and took a $12,000 loan to get started. Yes. So it was a $12,000 credit card loan with a lot of uncertainty. But we learned that with the right mindset, the strategy and faith, you can do something extraordinary. So growing into an 8-figure business taught us lessons about resilience. You talked about tenacity, leadership, wealth creation that we now want to pass on to others. This podcast is simply us turning our challenges, our scars, our tears, right? And moments of joy, victories into a roadmap for others to follow.
Dr. B, Joan spoke a lot. Joan spoke about our start. Let me just say that we were hungry, man. We were hungry. We wanted we were in the corporate world. And, years ago when I was in Amway, network marketing Amway, and I was just getting started in there trying to, because I figured, hey, this is American dream. I have to be part of the American dream. I was willing to work hard, and I wanted to kind of direct my own destiny here, if you will. And so and I was, our leaders told us that, that we had to get out there and we had to do our own thing. So Joan and I have always been, even after college and whatnot, we've always been struggling. How can we make a difference? How can we be part of something where we control our own destiny? And so the corporate world kind of stifled us, man. I mean, we were just, I felt like I was in a cage, man. I couldn't really be myself. I could not, because I think when you want an entrepreneur, you want to serve, you want an opportunity to do that. And so we started looking. I tell you what, and we prayed a lot. Let me tell you, we prayed a lot. Faith had a lot to do with our journey. Faith had a lot to do with our journey. Would not be here if it was not the grace of God. It's the grace of God that got us here. Okay. I mean, we prayed about it, and then God gave Joan, my wife, this business. because it wasn't my idea. To be honest, it wasn't my idea. She's smarter. I mean, I'll give her that. But it was God who gave her the idea, man. So she had the idea to do this, for us to do this. And the loyal husband that I am, I followed ahead. I said, okay, if that's what God gave you, I mean, let me kind of help along the way. So it was rough getting started. It was very, very rough getting started. Like Joan said, we had no money. We had to get a credit card advance on a credit card loan advance on a credit card. Okay. We had no money. We had jobs, no question about it. But, we had 3 kids, like Joan said. And so it was hard, man. It wasn't enough money at the end of the month. Okay. So we had to, we took this loan on faith and then went to work serving people. Because we learned from one of our owners, one of the owners of the franchisor, that because we asked them, we got started. So, well, can we really, can we make some money off of this? Can we really be successful at it where we can be able to pay our bills, take care of our family, that type of thing? And he said, the message he told them, we never forget that today. He said, Paul and Joan, just serve people. Go out there and just serve. The money will come. And I'm gonna tell you, we have never forgotten that lesson. Yep. It's about service. This isn't about money. The money will come, but you gotta do the work first. Yeah. You gotta go with the heart and serve, and just and be there to help other people. Because once you do that, the rewards will come. So that's our story, and that's why we're here.
Oh my gosh, so cool that you guys. I just love the fact that you figured out how to do it together. You reminded me in your story. Where I don't know if you guys have ever seen the Les Brown, video where he just says, "You gotta be hungry," and he says it over and over again. Yes. And I can just picture you guys like playing that over and over and over again as you're using your credit card and thinking, "What if this doesn't work?" Because that had to be something that went through your mind. It's like, how are we going to repay this? And at the time, when we think about it today. For a lot of folks, $12,000 isn't a tremendous amount of money. But back when you guys started, $12,000 was a chunk of change. Wasn't like, it wasn't like salaries were hundreds of thousands of dollars. It was like salaries were like $17,000 or $20,000 or something like that. And so if you remember that. And so one of the things when we start thinking about money is you decided to call this podcast the Home Care Millionaire Podcast.
Correct.
Yes.
And there's got to be a reason that's in there and things that you guys have been thinking about, because you didn't call it the Home Care $20 podcast or the Home Care you can make a little bit of money podcast. No, you said we're going to call it the Home Care Millionaire Podcast. Maybe talk to me a little bit about that and why.
Thank you, Dr. B. You're absolutely right. I mean, I tell you, working together has been a blessing, for Joan and I. We've learned how we can work together. It's been part of our growth. We're still growing in the process, but I tell you, it's something that I think has made us stronger working together. Okay. I mean, I think when you talk about a partnership, this is the first one. This is the most important one to me, and it's worked out for us. So I encourage everyone. I mean, don't be scared about working with your spouse, go in there in good faith. I mean, division of labor is important. I mean, and then you're going to make it happen. Because I tell you what, we started out with a lot of days that were challenging. There were some days I quit, and some days, thankfully, those days, Joan did not quit. So that's why we stayed in business, right? And vice versa. Now, why did we choose the name Home Care Millionaire? The word millionaire grabs attention, doesn't it? Mm-hmm. It sure does. It sure does. For us, it was more than the money. It is more than the money. It's about mindset. It's about thinking big. It's about breaking limitations and building something sustainable that blesses your family and your community. Okay? We want our audience to know that you can be purpose-driven and prosperous at the same time. They shouldn't be mutually exclusive. They should not be. Wealth doesn't take away from your calling. Actually, it fuels your calling. That's what this is all about. If you do good work, you will get rewarded for it. Well, I mean, that's what a good book says, right?
Yeah.
That's what we chose this. Joan, you want to add to that?
Yeah, and Dr. B, just to add, we chose this word millionaire because over the years we've seen friends, those who are aspiring to get into the industry come in for the primary purpose of making money.
Correct.
Okay. And our mantra has been, like Paul said earlier, service first.
Yep.
So our goal is to really emphasize the compassion, the service, the care aspect of it. And like we mentioned earlier, when you provide the service, the money will come.
Yep.
It is bound to come. It's an exchange of value. So the money will come. So that is why we chose the word millionaire also, to send signals, to send reminders to those who are aspiring to get into the industry, or those who are already in the industry, that it's not just about the money, it's about the service.
You know, Dr. B, I'm going to just add to this real quick, Dr. B. I remember one of the interviews you did with somebody that we both respect a lot, and Dr. Myron Golden, you know, and what he said, if you don't like the output, look at the input, right? Oftentimes we mix that around, don't we? If you don't like the output, look at the input. That's what this is all about. If you put the service out there, the rewards will come.
Gotcha. Well, let's look cool, because I keep thinking about this. I'm gonna just play here for a second, because I keep thinking about you guys being hungry, right? Yes. And like you said, the output and the input. And before I ask the next question, I just want you to look at this, just for maybe we'll go 10 seconds, and then you can tell me, is this what you guys were thinking? So let me pop this on the stage, on the screen real quick. I'm going to go ahead and play it, and then you can tell me your thoughts here.
Hungry. You got to be hungry. You got to be hungry.
That's my guy.
It's on every day. Read it every day. I read. Unlived life. I like to leave this with you. The mom used to love to hear me say, she said, boy, say that thing for me, and I dedicate and fight for it. To work night for. Give up your time, your peace, and sleep for it. If all that you dream and scheme is about it, you gladly sweat for it and fret for it and plan for it. And losing that you want with all of your capacity, strength and sagacity, faith, hope, and neither cold poverty, pain of body and brain can keep you away from the thing that you want. If dogged and grim, you besiege and beset it. With the help of God, you'll get it.
That's right.
All right, that'll just be a little bit of what we were talking about today.
It's powerful stuff, man. Powerful stuff from Mr. Les Brown. Absolutely. I've listened to that many times, Dr. B, and you know, I get, again, it's okay, you know, it's a mindset. It's, you got to be hungry. Absolutely.
Gotcha. So when we think about your tagline, you guys have a tagline, and if I'm going to read it right, it's compassion is your calling, wealth is your reward. Compassion is your calling, wealth is your reward. How did you come up with that? What does that mean if you're talking about compassion is your calling?
Well, let me just say this, Dr. B, and Joan is going to weigh in here. It means you don't have to choose between doing good and doing. They're not mutually exclusive. Compassion is why we start, because we want to serve people. But wealth is a reward that allows you to sustain that calling. You get to be able to hire great people, you know, be able to support them. You'll be able to impact your community in a positive way. You create freedom for your family. You know, that's what this is all about. You want to add to it, Joan?
Yeah, for our listeners, it's a mindset shift. So like Paul said, they're not mutually exclusive, right? You need to stop feeling guilty about success. You know, that's a mindset. It's a belief system. Some people feel like, okay, if I become wealthy, how about others? Or maybe they will think I'm greedy. Like some people believe wealthy people are greedy. No. So it's a mindset shift also. You don't have to feel guilty about success. Your prosperity empowers your purpose. So we believe that the compassion and calling with the wealth go together.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. That's so neat. When I think about the word mindset, but I'll let you talk. Go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, go ahead, Obi. You go ahead, Obi.
No, you're good. It's your show. You're the one getting the podcast. So go ahead.
What I was going to say is that, the more wealth you have, the more compassion you can show in most cases, right? The more impact you can have, the more you can do what you got. So when we serve people, you come from that compassionate heart, and whatever reward you get, you can do more good with it. That's what this is all about. In fact, we get to do good from the get-go because we're serving people. Mm-hmm. But then when you get that reward out, you can just make a much bigger difference in your community and the folks that you can be a part of, all of that. You can support foundations. As a result, what we've done, we support our franchises foundation, right? That goes to, we put money in there that helps, to be able to help other folks, seniors that cannot afford our services. Isn't that what it should be all about, Dr. B?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. And when you think about, when I think about the word mindset, our minds are already set in a certain point of time. And so when we have to change our mindset to be able to achieve and gain bigger things or to do more. And that gets hard sometimes because we don't know what we don't know, right? So we're looking into the future. The past is already behind us. We can't go back and get the past. All we can do is learn from the past. And so when you guys think about setting a mindset that will propel somebody forward, I know your faith probably played a lot in it. I know your purpose probably played a lot in it and understanding what that is. And this whole thing where we have to shift what we're doing, in order to have what we want to have. You have to be willing to do what others are not willing to do in order to have what others are not already having. And sometimes that mindset is really tough for a lot of people as they struggle through things. And I know this podcast that you're putting together is going to directly address that mindset and that faith and that purpose. Maybe talk to us a little bit about, just give us a sample, give us a little bit, make us hungry for what we're gonna see in the future on this podcast.
Absolutely, Dr. B. So that's a good one. I usually tell folks, when we were in business school, we were taught that strategy, having the perfect strategy, was the absolute, would determine your success. But we found that the strategy is only about 5%, accounts for only about 5% of your success. Your mindset actually accounts for about 95% of your success. Wow. Now, that mindset didn't happen overnight, right? It was built from when you were young, your experiences at home, with your family, at school, place of faith, or, TV, the community, nowadays, social media. So you build that mindset along the way. Mm-hmm. It didn't happen overnight. Now, to reverse it, if you've had the wrong mindset, which hasn't really served you, mm-hmm. it may not happen overnight, right? It's going to be a process to unlearn and relearn new philosophies, new principles, new ideas to change that mindset. So we're going to be bringing that into this podcast as well to help you sustain, because the strategy is good, creates the foundation, the solid foundation, your plans and so forth, but you need that mindset to propel you, to sustain you, because those challenges are going to come. Those challenges are going to come. That resilience mindset, the positive mindset, to help you go through those challenges. About mindset, just going back to the basics and looking at different types of mindsets, belief systems, how to help you succeed in your home care business.
So good. Dr. B, Joan just said it all. Mindset is everything, really. Because you got a wrong mindset, man, you're not going to go too far. And what is mindset all about, really? It's your philosophy in life. Are you looking at things? Are you a victim or a victor?
Mhm.
Do you control your destiny, or are you, someone who's dependent on what the government or wherever society does? Those are all determining factors that can really, get away from the gifts that God has called you to bring out in the world. All right, because we all believe that there's greatness in every one of us. We believe that strongly, and it takes the right philosophy, if you will, right? The right way of looking at things, okay, to bring that out. What do we help them bring it out? How do you bring that out? The mindset, your philosophy in life has got to change. It's got to change. You got to look at things, you got to look at the brighter side of life. Not just the challenge. We all face challenges. Because often I ask myself, when I'm with friends or Joan and I think, I say, well, listen, man, does Jeff Bezos have 24 hours like you and I? How about Warren Buffett?
Yeah,
Huh?
they do.
Okay, there you go. I mean, how come they're doing so much more than we do? It's got to be with the philosophy.
I hear you.
Exactly, and and Joan talked about the fifth side. I don't want to touch too more than that, but faith is extremely important. You gotta believe you can make a difference. Why not believe this is your chance? When you believe this is your chance, you have the right philosophy, and you're willing to work for it, things are gonna manifest for you, and that's what we're gonna share in this podcast here to inspire, encourage, motivate, and let folks know that they can make the difference. That they have the power. They have the power. It's we're going to guide them. We're going to show them it's possible. That's why we intend to bring guests on the show that have done it, that have some strategy, success principles they're going to share with us, how they did it, the challenges they went through, they overcame them, how they overcame them, and and some things that can help people out there. That's what this podcast is all about. So we're looking for the really folks tuning in, learning from it, and growing, and then serving, making a difference in our world. Because I tell you what, one of the things we all need in our world is make this world a lot more fun and more interesting, and I would say making a positive difference in folks' lives. Because once you do that, you're part of God's plans, I believe, for the world. Which is for us, for all of us to be happy and have much more fulfilling existence.
Yeah,
that's what it's all about.
I can imagine like going to a party with you guys is kind of difficult because I bet people are like asking you these questions and asking you for your insight. I kind of see you like sitting on the sofa or something, people just gathering around and trying to raise their hand and ask questions because it's so insightful. Because like you said, you've done it before. You've been part of it. When you think about leadership, and I know you guys have been teaching and training people, and now we're taking it to a broader scale. But John Maxwell says, in a lot of the leadership books, he says, if you, in order to be a leader, there should be somebody following. Correct. And if there's nobody following you and you've just announced yourself as a leader, you're just taking a walk. And that's not what this podcast is about, right? You're not just taking a walk, right? This is like things that you have done, but not only the things that you have done, you also have a connection or a network of people that have been successful doing this. The people that you've reached out to in the past, the people that you've worked with and helped get there, and then just people that you just know in the industry. It might be a vendor. It might be just somebody that is like excelling, and you say, I'm going to bring them on and we're going to teach them. And so maybe give me just a quick glimpse of what somebody who, subscribes to this and has their notifications on to this podcast is going to receive as a result of watching this.
Guess what? You can do it too. Those are your keys right there. That's what it's all about. We're going to have folks share how they got started, where they were at. Okay, what they went through, where they are today, and what are the lessons learned. That's what this is all about. That's why Joan talked about the plan and the belief.
Yes.
This is so cool because, like, right now, I'm excited about building a home care business. I don't know nothing about it. I don't have no plan. I don't even know if there's something I want to do. But because I'm on this show with you right now, and I'm hearing from you right now, I'm like, I'm going to go tell my wife, let's go do it.
Come on,
And
Dr. B, we're ready.
Hey, sign up.
oh my gosh.
Let's
I
go
can just
serve.
imagine there's going to be so much gold and gems and just information. And these things are going to be recorded. They're going to be out there for people to take and to just take in and go. And so what I want you to do, and as we kind of close down our show for today, because I can't wait to hear that first episode. And so we got to hurry up. And, like I said, because I don't even know what it is you do. I just know I want to do it because you guys are doing it. And so maybe you guys can just share some closing thoughts for our podcast today, and then some insight on what we get to look forward to, next, and maybe what the first episode is going to be, so we can plan it and get on it, and maybe a website to go to, whatever it is that you guys want to finish with, and then I'm ready to get started. I'm ready to get going.
Hey, listen, we need folks like you with big heart, and your lovely wife, to get in there and serve more people. That's what this is all about. Our biggest vision really define what's possible in home care. Too often people see it as a grind, or they're just doing it for survive. That home care can be both purposeful and profitable. Okay, it can inspire, being sustainable businesses where they serve people with their heart. Just consider the ripple effect on family. That's a legacy we're looking to keep to bring out there, Dr. B. That's a legacy. We want to be shine a spotlight millions of people out there. I mean, I tell you, some of these folks that we serve have no family members. We've been there. Services on holidays, 4th of July, Christmas, New Year's. No one wants to go to work on those days. John and I have been there and served those seniors in there. We've walked the walk.
Yeah.
We've been there. That's what we're going to be talking about. That's what we're going to talk about, sharing with people. So the first, the first couple, and I'll just wait on this, and Joan can kind of finish this off. The first couple of episodes are going to be about folks' stories. Folks that are very successful in home care, sharing how they got started, why they got in, what challenges they went through, how they overcame these challenges, and what they see the future as in this industry. I got to tell you, the home care industry is one of the industries where you cannot outsource it. Okay. Matt, oh yeah, you can't have no virtual person taking somebody home. I mean, how they gonna get you home? Right? You need the body, you need someone here locally to do that work. So that's one of the things. It's an industry that, with the aging, the population getting bigger, it's only gonna get bigger. There's gonna be more of a need for what we do. Folks, matter of fact, folks want to stay in their homes longer. I mean, I want to stay in my home. Don't you want to stay your home as long as you can, Dr. B? Okay. Yeah, that's what it's that's what it's all about. So it's a huge industry that for a long time we believe has not had the light shown on it. And that's what the Home Care Millionaire Podcast is going to be doing. Just shining light on what we do, so that we can encourage, and guide other folks that are coming along, or folks that are in and they just need some guidance and need some hope, and that they can be successful, they can provide good service and be successful at it. That's what we're going to be doing. Do you want to finish it up?
Yeah, and even for those who are already in home care and they're very successful, they can still benefit from our Millionaire Podcast, because we're going to be sharing tips on personal development, on building that legacy, wealth generation, and the lifestyle that they desire. When we started, 3 young children, no money, so to say, just walking around the clock, that lifestyle was, I don't know what word to use to describe it.
Yeah.
I mean, we sometimes
we're hungry.
Sometimes we used to say, we're working 24 hours like physicians, but not making the kind of salary that physicians make.
That is true.
So those who are already in the industry, they're doing well, they're successful. What more? What's the next step? Right? So we're looking at fulfillment. We're looking at legacy. wealth creation as well for them.
And Dr. B, we're going to bring, it's not just going to be home care agency owners, successful ones coming in. We're going to bring some support folks, okay? Folks that support insurance agents that support our industry, okay? We're going to bring accountants that support our industry. Other professionals that we rely on to do what we do, right, are going to come in and kind of weigh in, because we all need a little bit of support, a little bit of love, I can say, and a little bit of guidance on these things, right? I mean, because as you said, you don't know what you don't know, right? We're going to be able to bring those folks to kind of enlighten all of us. So like Joan said, this is for everybody who's involved in this industry, because, we can always pick up a nugget here and there when these experts and professionals come in who have a ton of experience to share with us.
Oh my gosh, this is going to be so good. I'm going to put my glasses on right now. I'm going to look into people's future, and we're just going to know that this is going to be something that is just going to be so amazing for the individuals that tune in.
Thank you, Dr. B.
I want you guys that are watching this and saying, I'm ready to get going. Maybe by the time you watch this, they already got started. If it's today when we're watching it and you're loving it, you're saying, man, I want to get excited about it. And so is there right now, if somebody just wants to check you guys out and the things that you do, is there a website that they can go to that they'll get information on? Or is there a way, should they put in the comments here and I'll make sure you get it? What's the best way that somebody can get a hold of you guys right now?
Yeah, just go to askjoanandpaul.com. It's all one word. Ask Joan and Paul. Spell out askjoanandpaul.com. And you'll be able to connect with us and let us know how we can help you and serve you, and put your question in there and whatnot. And we'll certainly get back to you. Absolutely, yes.
Well, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go ask Joan and Paul what's for dinner, and then I'm going to make sure that I sit right with you guys and figure that all out. And so for those of you who are watching, thank you for watching. If you think this has been a great episode and you want more of Living Boldly with Purpose, you can go ahead and hit subscribe and notifications on this podcast. I will be sharing when Joan and Paul will be talking, and their podcast will be out and some of their episodes, and we'll make sure that you get every bit of information that you need, because the goal is that you are successful. The goal is that you are able to serve, and the goal is that you will get out of life what you want to. My world is about helping people become the person that they need to be, that they want to be, the person that God put them on this earth to do. And so you can see there are some people that are doing that and living that out in truth and faith right now. And so thank you for watching us today. Thank you for a wonderful time. Don't forget you are God's greatest gift. And I can't wait to talk to you guys on the next time. I can't wait to see you on the other side of Paul and Joan's podcast. You guys have an amazing, awesome day. Thank you, Joan and Paul. And we'll talk to you on the next one.
Thank you so much for joining us today on the Home Care Millionaire Podcast. We hope you found inspiration, encouragement, and practical tools you can apply right away in your own journey. Our mission is simple, folks: to shine a light on the incredible impact that home care owners and their caregivers make every single day, and to give you the mindset, strategies, and faith-filled wisdom to build both purpose and prosperity.
Because here is what we believe: compassion is your calling, wealth is your reward. If this episode spoke to you, we'd love for you to subscribe so you never miss an episode. And if you like more resources or have questions for Paul and I, just head over to askjoanandpaul.com. We'll be honored to connect with you there.
Until next time, folks, remember, you have what it takes to build wealth, create freedom, and leave a legacy through your agency. We're here cheering you on every step of the way. Bye for now.